I'm Richard Clarke. Ramana Maharshi's teachings are deep and profound. Listen each day to deepen your practice. Welcome. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Today is from Talk 495. A Cochin Brahmin, professor at Ernakulam College, had an interesting conversation with Sri Bhagavan. Sri Bhagavan advised surrender to God. The visitor gave a glimpse of an ICS officer. The gentleman, while a student, was an atheist or an agnostic. He is very pious now, and the change has surprised everyone who had known him before. In further conversation, the following points were noteworthy. The visitor said, "One must become satiate with the fulfillment of desires before they are renounced." Sri Bhagavan smiled and cut in, "Fire might as well be put out by pouring spirit over the flames." All laughed. The more the desires are fulfilled, the deeper grows the samskara. They must become weaker before they cease to assert themselves. That weakness is brought about by restraining oneself and not losing oneself in desires. Questioner: how can they be rendered weaker? Maharshi: by knowledge. You know that you are not the mind. The desires are in the mind. Such knowledge helps one to control them. In this dialogue, a professor who has experienced a dramatic spiritual shift engages in conversation with Ramana Maharshi. The visitor expresses a common belief that desires must first be satisfied before they can be renounced. This viewpoint suggests that only after indulging in desires will a person naturally lose interest in them. Sri Ramana Maharshi's response directly challenges this idea with a simple but powerful analogy. Trying to extinguish desires by indulging them is like trying to put out a fire by pouring fuel over it. Indulging desires only strengthens their hold on you, reinforcing the mental impressions and tendencies, samskaras and vasanas, that fuel future desires. The professor's belief highlights a misunderstanding of how desires operate. Maharshi clarifies that the more desires are satisfied, the deeper they become ingrained, not the other way around. Desires gain momentum through indulgence, making them harder to control. Instead of attempting to quench desires by fulfilling them, Maharshi points out that desires must first be weakened before they can cease. When the professor asks how desires can be made weaker, Ramana explains that true understanding comes from recognizing that you are not the mind or body. Desires exist in the mind or the body, not in the true self. Once you realize this, you can begin to disidentify from the mind, the body, and the desires. This shift in perspective is from self-knowledge, the knowledge that you are the self and not the mind or body. This helps you restrain desires rather than being consumed by them. Ramana Maharshi's teaching centers on the importance of self-inquiry. By asking, "Who am I?" and coming to see that your true nature is beyond the mind and its attachments, you create the space for desires to weaken naturally. This isn't a process of force or repression, but of knowledge. When you no longer see desires as yours, but as a phenomena of the mind, they lose their power over you. Understanding this principle is essential to dealing with desires and moving towards spiritual freedom. This dialogue emphasizes that indulgence only strengthens the very patterns you're trying to overcome. Instead, freedom comes from knowledge of the self and the steady practice of self-inquiry, which leads to the natural weakening of desires. So know yourself and be always free and at peace. In 40 verses on reality, Ramana Maharshi explains the nature of the self, the ultimate reality, and self-inquiry. My new book, with my comments and inquiry questions, opens these teachings up and brings them into your practice and experience. Available now from Amazon. Link in the video description. These videos bring Ramana's teachings into your direct experience. Click subscribe to see more. Click thumbs up to like, and send questions and start a dialogue with a comment.